So, Miss Beautiful Brooke, your husband Jake is here, so give it up for Jake out there. Thank you, Jake. You've also been in the business a pretty short time, 23 months, and number 26. So any of you sitting out here now thinking, how fast can this happen? This is how fast this can happen, which is so exciting. And for you, thinking back on your journey, what was supposed to be really one of the best times for you in your life, like the most exciting times that, I don't know how many mothers are in the crowd, but I know there's a lot of moms out there. You were pregnant. And tell us why at this time you could not necessarily be excited about being pregnant. What was happening with you?
My husband was working for a major Wall Street bank. At 7 months pregnant, I got put on bed rest. I was a hairdresser, so if any of you hairdressers are out there, you know you do not get maternity leave. It's a great job, but you don't get maternity leave. So we felt okay. It was still kind of scary, me being put on bed rest, but all of a sudden people started getting let go left and right at my husband's corporate, very stable job. And luckily another company was coming in and recruiting him pretty heavily. So he said, let's take a leap of faith. I'm going to go with this company. And so I'll never forget for the rest of my life, my husband walking in on the day he was supposed to start at this new job. And just the look in his eyes and just how pale he was. He said the job fell through. They're not giving it to me. So in a second, there went our insurance. There went every single penny of income we had. Like I said, I was 7 months pregnant. So the next few months were filled with draining our 401k, raking up as much credit card debt as you can imagine, making the most degrading phone calls of my life to friends and family, asking for money. Every time I sat in the doctor's office, I was so embarrassed and so afraid they weren't going to let me go back because we couldn't pay our bills. And it was devastating. It was supposed to be the best time of my life, and I couldn't even afford to go and buy anything to get ready for my son. And the breaking point definitely is once we had our son, looking around our house to see what we could sell because we couldn't afford formula. And we boxed up our DVD player and took it back to Walmart, and that's how we bought our formula. And I just remember thinking when I was laying in bed, just looking up at the ceiling, just thinking, it's got to be better than this. I mean, every single time I would forget about it and laugh, all of a sudden I would remember. And it was just something I couldn't escape. It was something that just robbed every ounce of joy I had. So it was definitely a very difficult time.
And so many people have lost hope out there. Bad economy or bad times or business gone wrong. And my husband and I were in that boat. We just I got pregnant and wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and all of a sudden the economy crashed. So I was there. We were in our 40s, and it's even scarier than sometimes in the 20s. And that feeling of just hopelessness, going, how does it get better? And so it did get better for you because you found this crazy wrap thing. So tell us about finding it and how you got your business started because you were so destitute.
Well, because, I had a C-section, you're supposed to wait 3 months to go back to work. That didn't happen. I couldn't do that. So I went back 3 weeks after I had my son to do hair, and one of my clients started telling me about this crazy wrap thing. And she's like, it's only $25. $25 is nothing. And I'm sitting there going, do you realize how much $25 is to me? And luckily she said, I believe in this so much, let me wrap you. Of course, I fell in love with my results. I had 1 million people because, y'all, what you've got to do, you've got to fall in love with these products so much that it is just as easy as talking about going to your favorite restaurant. It just naturally comes up. So I was talking about it to everybody, and I said, okay, I really want to do this as a business. But I was like, there's no way my husband is going to let me pay $99. And he said, you know what, why don't you try it? But my enroller took us out for a free lunch. That's the only reason why we went. And he said, if you can pre-sell those 4 wraps, let's do it. And that's how I ran my business. I had to pre-sell my wraps. That's how I paid for every auto ship.
Yeah, and you said that. There's so many times people go, gosh, I have this friend, but they're just so broke, you don't understand. And we're like, no, we do understand, because a lot of us have been there. But when you want it, you find a way, and you found a way to do that. And so we've been really talking about it starting with one. And so for you, when we say it starts with one, tell us how amazing was that shift when you found that one, what happened in your business?
Well, I found the one, Miss Susan Wade. And it's so funny, we were just backstage talking about, I had to get my mom to drive me to her house because I didn't have any gas money to go wrap her. And you know, it's one of those things that it took me 4 months to go executive, but I built a very strong executive, and you know, more than anything, we are trying to make bank more than even the rank a lot of times. That's very important on our team. So building very strong and just starting with that one and running with them, and yeah, just working as hard as you can.
We love that saying too, and I don't remember which leader said it, but I know we heard it with Lori Conway. Okay, it's not about the rank, it's about the bank. So work to make the money, not always the title. Although titles are cool, right? So, okay, so you got on this journey with it. After the pregnancy, weight issues. A lot of us have it. I was one of those moms too. I couldn't fit clothes. I was like frustrated with my image. Women, we all know, and men should know, happy wife, happy life, right? So if we're not feeling good about our own self-image, we become a little depressed. We take it hard on ourselves, and every single woman, we're our own worst critic. So talk about how the products have really changed you.
During that time in my life, how stressful, I gained 100 pounds in my pregnancy. And today I've lost over 80 pounds using It Works Pledges products.
So awesome. And also pretty exciting, before we share that, but how it's helped your marriage, because we kind of tried to, like as gal pals yesterday, and I was like, you just have to talk about that.
My husband and I were just sitting on the beach last night, and I was just talking about some of my story, and he just started saying, you know, what about this? You remember this? And just us sitting there on the beach, bawling our eyes out together, and just saying, what if we did not find this crazy rap thing? What would we be doing right now? Because my very first One Team, One Mission, I wrote down, I would go to Disney World with a good bonus. And I know that sounds stupid, but for me, that just was the representation of, I knew we'd only go to Disney World if everything was paid off and we were okay. And not even a year into our business, we were on our Disney World trip. And now we have season tickets. We're going tomorrow. We get to go whenever we want to. And more importantly, we get to help all of our friends and family that helped us during that time in tenfold.
Awesome. Congratulations.